celebrated. The reverse case of a funeral. Place where black lives have risen with more eyes than the characters of Roman numerals. Let's pour out the libations for the death of our unworthiness. The worldliness and burliness of our oppression prevents us from somehow living in a world of bliss. We think we're opposites, but we're not. Just spiritual beings on different journeys with similar stories with different plots. Just curvaceous bodies on similar planes flying through space to different spots. Just love making creatures trying to feel all love that a broken heart got. Blackness is beautiful, joyful, like the noise of a four-part choir harmony on Sunday in a Baptist church. Lit like 90s house parties with sweaty backs and vibrating rumps shaking the earth. Funny like inside jokes and silent innuendos in public with the homies that have you laughing from the pit of your stomach to the base of your throat. Blackness is beautiful. It's simply abundant, like no matter what tomorrow brings, I'm rich in this moment. Abundant, like no matter what your mama got in her bank account, she rich in the Lord. Like who all at the party? Cause I'm bringing my boys. Abundant, like we got everything that we need, so come through with the kids. Like, I know I'm in between paychecks, but I'm still sharing my ends. Blackness is beautiful and something to be celebrated. Hot cone, pressed down, and banquet dressed up, elevated. My energy precedes me, recurrent lifetimes receive me. Universe so graded, I say blessed up, never faded. No circus in this business, cause when monkey don't stop, no show. You gon' always see me smile, churning from a love within that some will never know. Because I recognize that our blackness is beautiful, and it's something to be celebrated.
Come on, you gotta get it one time. Hey! Come on. Let's get our blackness is beautiful one time. Our blackness is beautiful.
Our blackness is beautiful.
Hey, you too, is like blackness is beautiful. Hey, something to be celebrated.
That piece means so much to me. I got this concept and I really want to show love to Chicago. I want to show love to Bronzeville, you know, the black metropolis of Chicago, and also my home, which I love dearly. And I think it's really important that, especially in a time and age where there's so many negative images of us, that we take the time to reclaim, you know, our history, to reclaim spaces, to claim two spaces that are ours. And if we don't tell our stories and we don't paint the picture of the lives that we see for ourselves, then people will continue to do that for us, which is not always a reflection of what we know to be true. Right? And so just like I reclaim Emma Sabella, that girl lives inside of me, that is who I am. I am my mother's child and my grandmother's granddaughter, you know, and the legacy of her lives within me. And so I wanted to reclaim that for myself, Emma Sabella. And this is all throughout the album is these moments of like reclamation. And so I wanted to just ask Trent kind of what his thoughts were when I approached him on like doing this concept. Because, you know, before me and Trent was working together, he was like, yeah, let's do all of these things. And now Trent, he be selective and stuff. I'm like, I got this whole album. Like, which one of these albums? I want to do all of that, but I do that one. I like that one. It's fine. We'll do that one then. So talk to us about like what your experience was.
So when I first heard the song, this is when did you send it to me? Like in May?
Yeah. June? Yeah, the draft, the rough.
The rough draft. Yeah. Immediately I thought of Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us," and I was like, this sounds like what Chicago needs. We need a Chicago not like us. So I was like, I'm all for it. I was vibing with the lyrics, and like I'm a visual person, as you can tell. I was already picturing what I wanted to see. I didn't want anything kind of narrative like. I just wanted footage of black people in Chicago, like show the Chicago experience from our point of view and not somebody else or something generic like Chicago PD. I want something that's genuinely from the heart. And I also wanted it to be, I love handheld because I feel like with handheld you get real, it feels real, feels authentic. It doesn't feel filtered or, you know, like we're trying to put up a front. It's like you generally, you know, you're getting the reactions of people. And when she invited me to both the black clubs, it was nice to see the community of, you know, just the cookout. It's footage of the cookout essentially. And it's those nuances of moments like the, you know, if you don't look at that, where we caught that on camera, and also we're just having a horse that we didn't have to pay nothing for. So, you know,
which is a black-owned company, y'all, for the horseback riders in this in this room. Even if you're not a horseback rider, like you can be one. We can be anything we want to be. Yep. They're the Silver Stallion Ranch. They're black-owned, and so please look them up. I'm always like, and get a new experience to just go out and have a little fun.
And she also wanted to throw in some key points like her and her family as a unit, her and her sister, and also the Chicago Bud Billiken, because also it's a Chicago thing. Like we know summertime, we know that means kids about to go back to school, so we about to have some free time. So, but yeah, just those moments, and also shout out to Joshua Jackson, who also has a majority of the footage that I use, especially like that outro clip. I really love that shot. Like I can't take credit. That's all him. But he definitely played a part in that Chicago experience, just capturing those very moments. And yeah, everything just worked out. We both shared this. We worked together before, like we shared the same vision of this what we're going for. So
yeah, I do just want to double down on the acknowledgement of my friend and other videographer Joshua Jackson, who when I know I've seen Josh shoot Bud Billiken, and so I'm like, yo, like I wanted to do it all, because when we were shooting this, it was close to Bud Billiken, but Trent was like, you know, it's hard. I don't have enough like people to be out here doing Bud Billiken, so I was like, well, let me ask Josh if that's something that Josh would be willing to share. Josh was like, yeah, of course. And so it's iconic. Bud Billiken is one of the oldest, you know, black parades in this nation, but it's a black parade, and the history of that is so beautiful, and it's been around for a long time. And I would love for you all to hear from Verse 2. When I was in the studio with Verse and I heard this song, and I just was like, this is the one. And he was like, man, I really like this piece, but I can't find anything to do with it. And Verse, we'll talk a little bit about us working together, but I was like, well, why don't we slow it down? Like, let's slow down the tempo and like turn up the instruments. And so we slowed down the tempo and turned up the instruments, and Verse looked at me and I was like, nope, it's my song now. His eyes lit up, like, I was like, yep, you hear it. And so that song itself really represented the joy of our experience, which is why that track is like that there. So anyhow, I do want to just, Verse, did you want to say anything about this track?
So it was just a great collaboration of her understanding her vision musically, and me being able to kind of execute on my end to make sure that it's a marriage between of poetry, which is not always easy to match and to make it feel authentic vocally, when you go from paper to the booth. So it's a lot. I could be probably talking forever about it, but so shout out to her, because she definitely found that the timing of that record to pull out a different vibe and a feel that made this record what it is.
Yeah. But how about y'all? How did this feel to y'all? Open it up to your thoughts, feelings.
I felt summertime shy.
Yes.
Bronzeville, the straight cut of that just symbolized, like you said, is our neighborhood, is what we have, and seeing Bud Billiken, it gives you summertime shy vibes. So I love it. And then just expressing who we are as a people and celebrating our blackness, which is very empowering too. Yeah. Felt good.
Yeah. Good. Bro?
I'm Rashonda. It just, I don't know, it made, like, I felt free and just, it felt fun and just, I don't know, I can't explain it like that, but I just felt free. And then, like he was saying, it felt like back in the day, you know, like, it was just back in the day, you know, because, like he said, so much stuff goes on now, so it's like you don't see that side. And so it was just like, it took me back to kind of like my childhood, seeing the kids outside playing and stuff like that. That's how I felt, and I was like, man, that's nice.
Yeah.
To piggyback off your statement, also, like, putting it together, it did trigger like some type of nostalgia of like the pre-phone generation when we had to be outside. Just small memories and nuances that you remember specifically from being in Chicago growing up. So,
Yep, definitely. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. And I saw Carmen back here.
Yeah, my name's Carmen. For me, I liked it because it was a really nice slice of life. Like, as you said, it was like honoring Bronzeville as a neighborhood and the neighborhood you come from. But I liked that other black people, maybe from the west side or other places, could look at it and say, like, oh, well, we have different traditions and norms and things like that. And I like it because I always think, like, you know, Chicago black is different than Atlanta black is different than LA black, and that's the richness of the culture. And I like the idea of just being able to see, like, a slice of what Chicago black is like. And you could play the same track in the poetry and show a different city, a different community, a different neighborhood, and still have that same feeling of understanding what black life is like. So it was dope.
Yeah, that's what's up. I saw some other hands going up too.
The block parties back in the day brought everyone together. That was the black people coming back together back in the day, because that's how we came together. And for those of us that moved out of this area, we tried to take it to other areas as well, but it didn't catch on like it did in Chicago. Chicago is the place where it just brought us together as the children's coming out, and then your parents would come out with the food and all of that. So it just brought the community back to where it should be.
I would say that it reminded me. Oh, my name is Noma. I would say it just reminded me of like blackness is beautiful currently, in the future, and then also in the past. You know, growing up in like I grew up in the Ickies, and so it's like with the tearing down of like public housing, tearing down of a lot of public schools, we lost a lot of history. That was erased with a lot of those like historical monuments where black communities actually like flourished. And so it's like while like people kind of look at places like Bronzeville or like the Ickies or Cabrini Green as like places of like poverty and sadness and anger, there are moments of like happiness that you can find within that. And you know, and I met you like when we were like deep on the south side somewhere, like learning how to box with Mark Quinn. and you know, it's like I always try to go back to like what my uncles or my grandparents were doing to get that happiness on the south side. And so like my uncles were really big into boxing at like Robert Taylor Homes at the Taylor Boxing Gym, or at different boxing gyms on the south side, or like my grandma was really into like stepping in the ballroom scene in Oakdale Garden. And so, you know, I be doing it all too. So I step in, I box. But, you know, it's just like your video just showed like how we find beauty in everything that we do, and to maintain that community and maintain that happiness.